All right, assisted living fans, let me just say that I am very pleased to see the amount of engagement on the videos I've done regarding Joe and then the one about Medea coming to assisted living. I'm glad the videos are doing relatively well. I mean, looking at the playlist for assisted living, the funny thing is some of the best videos in terms of views, not just views, but the comment section comes from the hey, who should pop up on assisted living, that kind of thing. That could be good and bad, and that's what I want to talk about in the video, but make sure you like it. Let's try to get to 50 likes on this video. Also, hit subscribe. We just recently hit 150,000 subscribers. Now it's time to go for 200,000 subscribers. Follow me on social media. Links are in the description below. When it comes to numbers as well, we are about 7,000 people away from 30,000 followers on Instagram, trying to reach that by the end of the year. So in the description box below, you'll find links to everything you need to follow me on in order to keep up to date on my different, shows that I review. Like I got Facebook groups for every show I review. I got the Instagram, Twitter, everything else in between is in the description box. And finally, make sure you hit the bell notification icon and select all. That way you are notified whenever I post new content, because trying to reach about 50% watch time by the end of the year, where at least 50% of my watch time will come from people who have subscribed to my account. We're almost at 30%. It took less than a week for us to grow by 5%. Let's try to get to 50 by the end of the year. So once again, hit subscribe, or if you've already subscribed, that little bell right next to it, click it and select all. So this video is talking about Hattie, good old Hattie, because you know how it is when you suggest one person, people want them all. It's like Medea and Joe and put in Hattie and then put in Aunt Bam. I don't think we need all those people, to be completely honest. Like I was reading the comment section on the Joe video, and I saw a couple comments, and on my Instagram post did pretty good too in regards to people liking and commenting on it. I saw that Melissa L. Williams, aka Ruth and Denise from The Oval, she liked it. Cameo Sherelle, she portrays Laura on the Haves and Have-Nots, the maid for Veronica. She liked it too. I hope it's one of the, it'll be kind of ironic for Tyler Perry to finally reach out to me on a post regarding probably my least favorite show of his right now. It's funny how life works out if it does turn to that. But I thought it was a pretty solid idea. Agree or disagree if you think Joe is the best character that would fit in with the assisted living crew. I honestly think he is, based on just go watch the video. It's pretty much lined up for you. I'll give you a brief rundown of how I think Joe could be integrated into the series, and then I'll talk about Hattie. I said in the video, Brown suggests that Medea comes over to get Sandra in line. Now, I don't know if Medea is really coming, but at the same time, it could actually set up the Joe plot or Joe introduction pretty well. Have Medea come to the assisted facility to get Sandra back in line. While she's there, she's going like, child, what's up with this rundown praise? What y'all doing up in here? $40,000. What you doing up here in Brown and Court? Got up here looking like the crack house that I used to work at. I don't know. Medea will probably find some story about that. But I think when she learns that it's an assisted living facility, look, I don't really do Medea impressions. So I'm sorry if that sounded a bit flat. It's not a strong suit of mine. So I know there are probably people out there who could do better. And by all means, Send me a voice recording on Instagram. Yeah. Remember my Instagram link, the HAHN. Go down to that description. DM me and just send me like a voice recording or a video of you doing your best Medea impression. Maybe I'll do like a compilation video. That'll be a fun video idea. Yeah. Send me a video of you doing a Medea impression. And then like if there are a good number, I'll pick the best and maybe I'll give you a prize or something. I'm out of DVDs. Maybe I'll cash app you or something. I don't know. But we'll see. It depends on how many people I get. So there you go. A fun little contest. I think Medea would come down to the assisted living. Dang it. I do one Medea impression and now I can't even say the title of the damn show. Medea comes down to the assisted living facility, gets Sandra in line. She learns the place will be renovated and up and running soon. It's an assisted living facility for the elderly She rushes off. Cora, tell me as soon as this place is open and ready for business. Okay, I'll be your first customer. Huh? What do you mean, Medea? I'll be your first customer. And then Brown be like, what are you talking about, Medea? Going to be in an assisted living home. No, I'll be your first customer, all right. And then she just rushes off. Then when it comes to the series, they could fix it up off screen in one episode. I don't give a damn. That's how they did The House and The Pains, where you had Cora and Ella. I mean, not Cora. Ella and Curtis, in episode 3, their house was still a wreck, but then in episode 4, the house is all renovated. So there was obviously a time skip. I don't give a damn. I think we can all say the same thing. We want to change the scenery, even though it would still suck if we're only seeing the people standing in the same set the entire episode. At least it would look good. The first customer there will be Medea dropping off Joe, and then Joe's going to be at the assisted living facility. It would just mesh really well. Like I said before, if you want to get my full explanation, go to my video about Joe being added as a cast member. Now, I know we're 6 minutes in. It's like, Jeremy, what about Hattie? I'm getting to that. Hattie had her time. It was called Love Thy Neighbor. Personally speaking, I'm not the biggest fan of Bam and Hattie. I think they play well with others, so to speak. But in terms of them being like the mainstay, like some people are wanting an Ant Bam series, it's not for me. That's just me. I think that Hattie's whole stick is her speech and being hard to understand. That's it. But then again, you could make the argument, well, Jeremy, there are a lot of characters in Tyler Perry shows who have this like one stick and like that's their entire character. I agree wholeheartedly, but I don't think Hattie would be the best fit for this particular show. I'm not saying she can't appear at all. The same goes for Bam and Medea. But when it comes to a character who could possibly be like a series regular, I think Joe would be the best fit, given the fact that he smokes. He's probably carrying, and we know that Brown cut down and burned all the weed in the backyard. So I feel like at that, buddies by the first joint. But they could easily write it where Joe and Vinny actually know each other for back in the day. They could easily do that. I mean, given the fact that, Vinny hooked up with Medea. Wait, didn't Vinny say that Brown stole Medea from him or something like that? So it seems like Medea and Brown had a thing. I don't know if it was like a full-on relationship, but it seems to me that if there was a thing between them for a while, it probably stands to reason that Vinny knows Joe and Joe knows Vinny. It's like, yeah, I know you hooked up my big ass sister, that Medea, Mabel, you got with him, and then you got with her. You know how Tyler flips out a character like, oh, that you a dude, or and then the whole thing about Vinny possibly being Cora's father, that'll be interesting. And like I said, I know a lot of people are like, no, we don't need Joe. Guys, if Joe or Hattie or Medea or Bam, if they show up and become like cast members, they don't have to be in every single episode. That's something that I feel people aren't really remembering. I mean, based on the format of the House of Pain and Assisted Living series as they are now, not every character is in every single episode. Sometimes there are long stretches where we just don't see a character like, oh yeah, I forgot about Malik. Lisa, oh wow, I forgot about her. And then Jasmine and Janine disappear for several episodes. Hell, Brown and Cora weren't even in last week's episode of Assisted Living. And then, when it comes to Jeremy, I mean, not Jeremy, but Jeremy and Leah, but Philip and Sandra, they aren't in every episode. They make random appearances here and there. It's like, oh yeah, I forgot about them. So even if Tyler Perry is in a few episodes as Medea or Joe or both, he doesn't have to be in every single episode. And I can't, say this enough, but Tyler said he wants to spend more time behind instead of in front of the camera. But based on how quickly he films and gets stuff done, he could possibly be in like several episodes with no problem at all. But I can understand where he's coming from. Not to mention he's trying to give more people shots and, opportunities. So yeah, if Medea or Joe become integrated into the cast, They don't have to be in every episode. Medea made several appearances in House of Pain, but she wasn't a regular cast member. She just appeared here and there. And it was a genuinely fun surprise when she did. So the same thing with Joe. He could be at the assisted living facility, but once the facility opens and hopefully they add new characters to the show, I'm not saying we need like the crazy amount of unnecessary characters added to the show like they did to the haves and the have-nots during the back half of season 7, but I would at least think we would have 3 to 4 people staying at the assisted living facility, because if there were no new characters, then what would be the point of renovating the assisted living facility, let alone base the premise of this show around an assisted living facility? It makes no sense. We're spending more time focusing on the Sandra sneaking out with the bus driver plot. Like, when was the last time we even heard anybody say, hey, we're going to get this place fixed up? I don't remember. I mean, Cora fixed the plumbing, or she fixed like the plumbing under the sink and whatnot. And Brown cut down the weed in the backyard, and that was it. Like, other than that, we just had them sitting around talking about Sandra. That's it. So once they get this place fixed up, I really do think it would be great for Tyler Perry to integrate a familiar face into the show. I don't think we need that many people, though, in regards to like familiar faces. Like Hattie, I just don't see her as a series regular. Like I said, she had Love Thy Neighbor. I don't think she would really add something to assisted living that couldn't be added by someone better like Joe. But again, that's just my opinion. Cassie Davis, obviously House of Pain. She could easily appear as Aunt Bam if they wanted her to, but I honestly don't really think that character is necessary, because we got a foul-mouthed character like Vinny, and then we have good-natured, balanced character like Cora. We have the ridiculousness of Brown. And I think Joe would be a nice medium between the vulgarness of Vinny, but also the, oh, I can't believe he said that of Brown. Like, I feel like he's not as crude as Vinny, but he could say some vulgar stuff. But when he says it, when Joe says it, it's not as forced, because with Vinny, it just seems like, okay, you cursed and everything, but it really wasn't necessary for you to curse right there. With Joe, it's kind of random. And then with Brown, he's just like see, that's another reason we don't need Hattie, because with Hattie's thing, it's like people have a hard time understanding what she's saying. That's Brown. We can understand what he's saying we can clearly hear what Brown says. We just don't understand it. With Hattie, it's like you hear what she's saying, but you can't really understand what she said, because she's saying something that's like, it's almost like I was watching the 13 Ghosts of Scooby-Doo the other day. First of all, I'm pissed off that I watched all 13 episodes and they didn't catch all 13 ghosts. But then I was informed that a couple years ago, there was a direct-to-DVD movie that actually solved it. But more to the point, one of the running gags of that particular season of Scooby-Doo, I remember growing up, it's like whenever Vincent Van Ghoul, played by Vincent Price, would say something like the name of a magical or ghostly artifact, Scooby-Doo would say it back, and then you couldn't understand. It was like, the Great Wall of China. I'm just making something else, like, the Great Wall of China housed the 12 ghosts. You need to go there immediately. The Great Wall of China? No, the Great Wall of China. The Great Wall of China? See what I mean? It's like a person says something and you can't understand what they're saying. That's Hattie. We don't need that joke. We already got that. I think Joe would be the best fit. I know a lot of people want to see Medea, but like I said in my Joe video, if Medea officially returns, not just for like a one-off episode, cameo or whatever, I think Medea deserves her own project. That's just me. Like, I don't have a problem with Medea popping up on assisted living, but I don't need her as a series regular. Medea's too big. I would just hate it because of the fact that it would just, look, if push come to shove, you can just scrap assisted living altogether. Like, I don't think anybody will be shedding any tears if instead of a season 2, which I do believe has been confirmed, if they decided to just end assisted living after season 1, it's like, okay, we'll just take Brown and Cora and put them in something else, or just create another show from scratch, or a Meet the Browns reboot. I don't think there'll be anybody complaining about that, because assisted living has gotten better, but it had such a rocky start. just do something new. When it comes to Medea, though, I think she's too big of a character to just be reduced to saving this sinking ship and basically saving the Titanic, repainting it a different color, and then moving on from there. Nah, just give Medea her own thing. But that's just my opinion. So with that being said, do you think Hattie should appear on Assisted Living? Do you think Hattie should become like a series regular? Personally, I don't. Like I said, she already had her run. Hey, well, Jeremy, Mr. Brown and Cora, they've been in a ton of plays. They had the Meet the Browns movie. They even had the Meet the Browns series. Yeah, but I can actually stand their characters a lot better than Hattie or Bam, but that's just me. I mean, Hattie and Bam, I feel like those are the kind of characters who work better in a group. Like, I feel like if you have one, you cannot not have the other. You have to have the other one there, or a Medea or a Joe character. With Joe, he can hold his own. Like Joe, he can just come into the scene and just tear it up. Same with Medea, like enough said. But I think at this point, Bam and Hattie are kind of like a pair. But, you know, like I said, Joe can just move solo, but then fall into the mix of Brown and Vinny pretty dang well. So, not to mention, you know, that's Cora's uncle, so that'll be great too. So, with that being said, let me know your thoughts in the comment section below. And 16 minutes. Holy crap, this video is longer than I expected. So, yeah, make sure you like, subscribe, follow me on social media, turn on those notifications, and shout out to the patrons over on Patreon. If you would like to donate to the channel as well, feel free to do so on PayPal or Cash App, or you can join Patreon for as little as $1 a month.